I'm Ray Bouchard. I wanted to introduce myself to you. This is February 11th, 2022, and I'm just finishing up some work on a dolphin sculpting that's made out of silk oak. I started this many years ago, but I'm just finishing it up, and like any good bottle of wine, or even a good bourbon or whiskey, some things take time. And this is a mother dolphin with a baby, and this is how they actually help them start to learn to breathe. They float them up into the surface like that. I have a lot of slabs, a lot of other work. I have a pine tree that I'm working on, making these tables. I have a sawmill, so I cut my slabs. This pine is 100 years old. It blew over in Hurricane Irma right here in Dunedin, Florida, as did the cedar tree that the base is made with. And you see I can pin these pieces together. Everything's pegged, so you don't need glue or screws or any of that stuff. And that just sort of follows the shape that the tree is telling me. Again, some of this live oak over here is 250 years old. This fell down just a quarter of a mile from here, and I collect the wood just very close to the house here. That's a very large cedar stump, which is the other end that holds up this 250-year-old oak. So I just want to show you a few things that I do to help explain who I am and what I do. Here are some examples of wood that will be used for benches. This is camphor that I collected. I was refurbishing an old house built in 1891, and while speaking to the gardener, he told me that his grandfather had planted that camphor in 1891. So I know how old that tree is, and the owners had to get rid of it. It was falling apart, and they let me collect a lot of that wood. But this is where I work inside. I'm doing a little bit of artwork, just starting my hand in painting with acrylics and oils, things like that. That's more or less a scene right here out into St. Joseph Sound. And little carving. This is a bench that is also out of silk oak. And I started doing this sort of thing when I was 10 or 11 years old, when I was helping my grandfather in his orange grove. He planted his first orange grove when he was 12 in 1908. This is a Valencia orange tree that all of us kids played in. And when his grove was sold, I collected a lot of the wood, and this is from an orange tree. I made this in 1988. I've been doing this for quite a while. And of course, while I'm working in here, when I saw things up, there's always dust. So I collect dust like this cedar dust from Hurricane Irma, and I shake it up in a situation, like one of these little sieves. And as the dust comes down, it's very fine. And then you can take the very fine dust, and this is like fairy dust, and you can throw it in on a fire. It's very cool. And you can make prayers and healing work with cedar, Native American in me, and 7th generation Florida native. These are potheads. These will be little stick people. I have a line that I'm making called stick people. And these are their fuzzy heads. That's the root of a hemp plant, and I will invert them on sticks. This is curly. Oh no, it's Shirley. It's curly Shirley. This is a root. It's a blueberry plant that is actually upside down, but I see human, and I see other life in all kinds of trees and woodwork. I'm a member of Screen Actors Guild, so I'm a voting member for the Screen Actors Guild Awards, which is coming up here in very soon in February. So they send me all these free movies and TV series that I get to watch. I also make these cards out of, some of them are made out of rocks that I carve images into. I found these stones out in Topanga Canyon when I lived out there in Los Angeles. I was a set carpenter and an actor out there in the 80s and 90s. And these photographs, I have a collection of about 36 sunsets here on St. Joseph Sound, which I'm going to print a book. I'm going to publish that. But I take these cards, and say I take the cardstock, and then I'll just put it on the painted rock. And as it comes up, it's its own individual work of art. Now there's Cocopelli, dancers, ducks, trees. Oh, this is my life. This is what I do. I'm also editing a video. It'll be a documentary from footage of over 200 hours over a 25-year span of my life, of the work that I do and the travels and journeys I go on, a lot of that will include the remodeling of the 200-year-old log cabin and creating 130 acres of wetlands up in North Carolina, which went into a wetland mitigation program back in the early, like 2000, 2001, and is protected for life. So anyway, there's a little bit about me. I'll be showing you hopefully some other videos with different things that I have done. I just wanted to kind of say hi and thanks for looking at this.